Hi, I'm Donna Wolf from naztazia.com.
This Crochet Easy Shell border is simple to make and looks good along the edging of a blanket, scarf, shawl, hat, handbag, and more. For my sample, I'm using worsted weight yarn and a G crochet hook, but any other size can be used as well. This shell border pattern is a multiple of 4 plus 1. What that means is from corner to corner, the stitch pattern needs to be a multiple of 4, like 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 stitches, and so forth. Then one more stitch needs to be added to the count at the end. Blankets never end up with the correct number initially, so the easiest way to achieve the proper stitch count is to put a single crochet border around the entire blanket first. I like to put 3 single crochet stitches in each corner, but put other numbers as needed, like 2 or 4 or 5, so that the corner-to-corner stitch count is a multiple of 4 plus 1 more. Even if the stitch count is all off, it's pretty easy to skip a stitch here and there when making the border to make the numbers still work out correctly. And here's my single crochet border with the 3 single crochet stitches in each corner to prepare for the next round of shell stitches. Start off in one of the corners and take the stitch marker out first before crocheting. In the corner stitch, make a slip stitch to connect the new yarn. It's also possible to continue with the previous color yarn as well, as long as the first stitch starts in the corner. I'm making a chain 3 to start, which serves as the first double crochet stitch. Now, in this corner, I'm making 6 double crochet stitches. That initial chain 3 counted as 1 double crochet stitch. So technically I'm making 7 double crochet stitches all in the same corner stitch. As we move forward, it's important to keep in mind that all corners will have a total of 7 double crochet stitches in them. Next, I skip 1 stitch and then I make a single crochet in the next stitch. Moving forward, I skip the next stitch and then in the next stitch, I make 5 double crochet stitches all in the same stitch. This is the main pattern for the shell stitch. There are 5 double crochet stitches in all of the shells along the 4 sides of this sample blanket. Then I skip a stitch and in the next stitch make a single crochet. Then I repeat what I just did before. Skip 1 stitch and then in the next stitch make the 5 double crochet shell stitch. As I mentioned before, if the blanket count doesn't quite fit in with the 4 plus 1 stitch multiple, don't worry about it. If needed, a stitch here or there does not need to be skipped. That will also help get the stitch count correct so that in the next quarter, it can easily accept a shell stitch, specifically a 7 double crochet one. And here's what the first side of the blanket looks like, starting with the 7 double crochet corner on the right and continuing along the top edge with the 5 double crochet shell stitches across. Now it's time for the next corner. I'm skipping a stitch and then making 7 double crochet stitches all in this corner space. Again, if the blanket count is a bit off, skip 2 stitches or skip no stitches as needed to get the 7 double crochet stitches in the corner. And here's what the 7 double crochet shell stitch looks like. Moving forward, follow the pattern like this. Skip a stitch and then in the next stitch, make a single crochet stitch. After that, skip a stitch and then in the next stitch, make the 5 double crochet shell stitch. Follow that with a skip stitch and a single crochet stitch. Continue along this new side with the 5 double crochet shell stitches, followed by a skip stitch and a single crochet. Here's what my work looks like thus far. The top edge contains the 5 double crochet shell stitches. Then I started moving along the left side of the blanket. Continue with sides having 5 double crochet shells and corners having 7 double crochet shells. Once all 4 corners and sides have been made, skip the last stitch and then make a slip stitch to the initial chain 3 of the first corner to complete the round. And here's the finished sample blanket with the shell border edging. It's a nice simple edging that works great with most stitch patterns for hats, scarves, shawls, blankets, handbags, and more.